This is the video for Tuesday, March 2nd. What does this quote mean? Without winning with money is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. What does the quote mean? And based on this quote, what do you envision learning as we discuss personal finance? Answer that in your bell work. Okay, so what the quote means, that's going to be up to you. I'm going to leave you to answer that on your own. Make sure you do that. But what do you envision learning as we discuss personal finance? Hopefully you said learning how to win with money and how we're going to focus on the behavior of that, since this is 80% behavior, but also you do need the 20% head knowledge. So we're going to focus on all of it. I'm going to focus on giving you the behavior skills, the head knowledge to win, and then also teaching you how to and inspiring you and motivating you to pursue that behavior. Okay. Okay, so we've got a few notes today. First is cost comparison, and this is comparing the cost of two or more goods or services in an effort to find the best value. So copy the definition there, and then come up with your own example. An example might be two things. Maybe you're looking at two different pairs of shoes, and one is Nike and one is Adidas, and maybe the Nike one is much more expensive and the Adidas one is better. That would be a cost comparison. Or trying to figure out is the extra money that you're going to spend to go to one college worth it because compared to another college. Those will both be examples. Come up with your own. Pause the video if you need to. Next is a cost-benefit analysis. This is analyzing whether the cost of an item is worth more than, equal to, or less than the benefit that comes from purchasing that item. Then we have a couple sub-definitions. One is cost, which is the price paid for a good or service, and one is benefit, which is the outcome that promotes well-being. So whenever you buy an item, you are going to do a cost-benefit analysis. Whether it's a very simple item like getting lunch, you're going to say, well, how much is this lunch going to be? Maybe it's going to be $7. What's the benefit received from buying this lunch? Well, it's good food. Maybe it's time spent with friends, whatever it is. And you're going to do, is the benefit of the good food worth the cost, which is in that case $7. You do the same thing with big purchases too. College. What is the benefit of going to college? Well, you've got benefits like the education, the career preparation, things like that. You've got benefits like going and being off on your own, all the fun that might come with college. And then what is the cost? Well, in most cases, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and you're going to compare the two and say, is the benefit worth the cost? So in your notes, what is something you want to purchase in the near future? So tell me what it is, and then do a cost benefit analysis. So when you do your cost benefit analysis, you're going to tell me the approximate price, and then you're going to list out the benefits, and then you're going to tell me whether you think the price is worth the benefits, the cost is worth the benefits, and why. The benefits are worth the cost. So are the benefits that you get from this item worth what you're going to have to pay for it? Why or why not? So pause the video if you need some time to work on that. Calculating future expenses, identifying the cost of meeting future needs and goals. So we're going to break those needs and goals into short-term, medium, and long-term goals. And so those are going to be over a specific period of time. And I want you to provide a personal example for each. So short-term goal, I'm going to say, is within probably the next year. Medium-term goal is within the next 5 years, and long-term goal is 10, 20, 50 years into the future. Okay. Or even maybe even less than that, maybe more than 5 years, anywhere in there. So a pretty standard example for people your age, short-term goal would be to graduate high school, medium-term goal might be to graduate college, and a long-term goal might be to buy a house. Those are very common goals. But you should write something that might be maybe involving more thought than just those three goals. Come up with a short-term, medium-term, and long-term goal in each of those spots. So a budget is a plan for future spending and saving, weighing estimated income against estimated expenses. So when you if you're going to win with money, the first step is creating a budget. And this is going to be a way to track your spending and your saving, and it's a way to figure out where is all the money going to go. You're going to create a place for every dollar that you make to go in the year or in the month. So you're going to use your income, which is payment received for goods and services, including employment. So that's the money that you make, and your expenses are the cost paid for a good or service. So pause the video here if you need. And this is what a budget is going to look like. On the top, you're going to have your income, salary, and dividends. Dividends are from stock market, and so you're probably not going to worry about that right now. So, but let's say your income is $2,100. Maybe this is salary and tips. Maybe this is salary from one job and salary from another job. Who knows? Or maybe you just have one, and you see how much you're making. And then you have your expenses: mortgage and rent, car, phone, health insurance, food. And then there's probably going to be like a miscellaneous category, a gasoline category. Maybe that's part of car. I don't know. You're going to list all of your expenses, and you're going to try to make all of your lifestyle fit within this. If your expenses outnumber your income, you have a problem. That means you're spending more than you're making. And so how are you going to know if you're spending more than you're making if you're not writing it down? If you're just kind of guesstimating and ballparking it. If you write down your expenses, you're going to see where all that money is going. We're going to talk about in more detail about budgets in the future. We're going to do a budget together. We're going to figure all that out. But for now, just understand that a budget is a list that shows all of your income and expenses and compares the two. All right, so the last thing for you to do today, you are going to explain how each of these concepts relates to financial responsibility. So we've talked about all these: cost comparison, which is comparing the cost of two or more items; cost benefit analysis, which is comparing the cost of an item to a benefit received; calculating future expenses, talking about short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals, and how those short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals work together, and how in order to reach a long-term goal, maybe you need to do some things in the short term. And budget. Why do you need to have a budget in order to be financially responsible? Why can't you just ballpark it and wing it? So that is the last thing for today, and I will see you tomorrow.